Hello, my name is Nina, and welcome to a little less than 60 minuti, 60 minutes. Today, we will be discussing Italy under the rule of Benito Mussolini, who Italians call Il Duce. Please welcome Benito Mussolini. Today, we will discuss contemporary politics and Italy's place in the world. Hello, sir.
Hello, it's great to be here today, representing the great heritage and destiny of the Italian people.
Shall we begin?
Yes, of course.
Who were your early influences in politics?
Well, my father, Alessandro Mussolini, always had a passion for politics. He was a small-town blacksmith, and he believed in the socialist ideas of Marx and Hegel. I grew up believing in the power of the workers to change and lead society.
What was your first job?
Well, I worked as a journalist for the socialist paper L'Avvenire del Lavoratore, and later as the editor of the weekly paper La Lotta di Classe.
Why was Italy nearing civil war in 1919?
Well, unemployment was rampant. Citizens were aware of communism, whose theories of class struggle divided the people. El fascismo, or fascism, was the answer for Italy, to protect the Italian people. Fascism was born of the need for action.
Can you describe the situation following World War I?
The country suffered great economic distress, and the central government became increasingly weak and unstable. The people wanted a unified Italy, to restore the great days of Roman civilization. I was elected to achieve that triumphant transformation.
But ancient Rome's triumph was due to democracy.
Well, yes.
So why adopt fascism?
My nation was crumbling. Italy required a strong dictator to guide her through her future. Democracy relies on individuals. Il futuro d'Italia grows from strength. All within the state, nothing outside the state, nothing against the state.
How did Italy change under your control?
I made Italy strong. I created an increasingly strong central government, which controlled workers' wages, hours, and factory conditions. I negotiated with the Pope and eventually signed the Lateran treaties. The government recognized that Il Papa was a sovereign ruler of Vatican City, and the Roman Catholic Church recognized the Italian state. Roman Catholicism became a statewide religion. Our military became strong. Boys as young as 8 prepared to enter the armed forces. The Italian army went forward, conquering Ethiopia, linking the great African colonies, discovering incalculable riches. With my raised arm, Italy rose to the greatness that is her destiny.
Thank you so much for coming today. Grazie.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. Next, we will be speaking with Dante Contorni, a train conductor in the modern Italian city of Milan. Buonasera, signor. How long have you been working as a train conductor?
Just recently. I never imagined that I would have a job working for the city or any job in the government. I am independent, Italian spirit. But Mussolini has changed Italy. He made the trains run on time like Switzerland or Austria. Changed my mind about Mussolini, his government, and the future of my country.
Is it really true the trains are running on time?
Certo, sì, it's amazing. Mussolini is the strongest leader of Italy in 200 years.
Can you elaborate on that?
He is magnifico. In the few short years, he has changed the infrastructure of the country. The trains are more efficient, yes, and the important roads between the cities are clean and well maintained. His government has built housing for young families and families with less income. Now you travel through the countryside and see telephone poles connecting the cities. For centuries, European people have struggled with social class, blamed the class system for every evil in civilization. Mussolini saw right through that, improving Italy for everyone. He is bringing Italy to the 20th century, standing strong with other great European nations.
How has this helped the economy?
There are more jobs, and people feel optimistic about the future of their family and their country, so they are willing to spend their money. They forget about the depression and the hard years of the war behind us.
Thank you so much for sharing your opinion with us today.
Mi dispiace. Excuse me. This is propaganda. I can't listen to these empty words.
Excuse me, who are you?
I'm listening to your show in the audience. I hear this pazzo. saying everything is improving. Either he is a liar or he's a fool.
So you disagree?
Hey,
strongly.
Back over here.
Got you,
On
bro.
me. I'm
Got
gonna
you.
talk to the audience.
Yeah.
His words are niente, nothing. Mussolini isn't an economic radical. He didn't even have an economic policy. He used the trains as a device to prove that he was actually improving the economy. Completely untrue. If the trains run on time, no ci siamo in Italia. We're not in Italy. Any sane Italian whose thoughts are not clouded by propaganda can tell you that. The train became a symbol for the efficiency of fascism.
But Mussolini took control of society in other ways?
Yes, he did. For example, he seemed to take control of wages and hours, but he also prohibited worker strikes, so there was no way to contest the government-aligned supervisors. El Ducebec. Mussolini's followers conspired to make the fascists look good, to make Italy look good, with little regard for the common man or even reality.
Va bene, va bene. I think it's time for you to return to your seat. We only have so much time for an unscheduled dissenter such as yourself. Well, thank you for your contradictory opinion.
But it's the truth.
Il Duce. From a small balcony in Rome, he seduced an entire nation.
I see some of the pictures of Mussolini, it makes one laugh. I mean, how could people be taken in by such a man?
He really did believe he was a modern Julius Caesar.
A young Adolf Hitler idolized him. But when he marched behind Hitler into the Second World War, he destroyed his country, his dreams, and himself.
Now I would like to introduce Arturo Imperato, a journalist and social commentator for the popular Italian newspaper Buongiorno Italia. How long have you been writing for the paper?
A few years now. I used to be innamorato at first. I was in love with my job.
And why has it changed?
There is absolutely no freedom. Writers and editors overlook the truth. No, it is worse. The truth is prohibited. Every word is propaganda sponsored by the official government.
That's a pretty extreme claim. Can you back that up?
Yes, Mussolini's early life trained him to be an expert at propaganda. He was a journalist for so long, so he knows exactly how to manipulate the media. Every morning, Mussolini reviews every article in the major paper in Italia. He is omnisciente, he sees and knows everything.
Why? What is the goal?
He wants complete control over public perception, eliminating any hint of doubt or controversy or opposing views. He uses censorship to create complete control. He determines the truth, and the Italian people are complicit. If Mussolini says, "Dice la luna è formaggio," the moon is cheese, the people say, "Sì, la luna è formaggio azul," the moon is blue cheese.
Can you provide us with an example?
I just did. D'accordo. Italy invaded Ethiopia.
But Mussolini says Italy invaded Ethiopia to unify the Italian colonies.
Well, yes, that is Mussolini's justification. He wanted to show Italy's great power, but it was not a fair fight. Mussolini chooses his military opponents with great caution. He invaded Ethiopia because he knew we would win. Haile Selassie, the leader of Ethiopia, traveled to the League of Nations to beg for help. He repeated, "He attacks us today, but could be you tomorrow." No one would stand up against Mussolini or against Hitler. When my newspaper tried to publish an account of the appeal, Mussolini abolished all record of dissent. He reinvented contemporary history. The invasion of Ethiopia was fair and showed the great bravery of the Italian soldiers. Also, as he came to realize Hitler's power and virulent anti-Semitism, he brought these lies to Italy. Historically, a country of great tolerance, the Italian newspapers featured anti-Semitic language and stories. Mussolini has complete control. A country, un popolo, a people of lies.
Get up! Get up! You've spoken against Il Duce. You've broken the law!
I'm here to arrest this man.
All the boys back in the United States, they sang this funny song during World War II. It went like this. Whistle while you work, Hitler is a jerk. Mussolini did his weenie, now it doesn't work.